Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back for another live stream. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lar. I'm the founder of Complete Test Success. And every Tuesday we go through some part of the IELTS test and I basically help you to improve your scores. Generally what we'll do is look at some writing together, or what we're doing today is we are going to go through some speaking part 3 questions. So the way this works is pretty straightforward. I will give you a link. You can click on that link, come and join me here live. So for the people who join me live, then I will ask them some questions, get them to answer some IELTS Speaking Part 3 questions and give them feedback and explain to them, what they need to do to improve. So it will give you a bit more insight and a bit more and a better idea of what the examiner is looking for, the types of things that the examiner will pick up on as being problems. So that's basically it. Pretty straightforward. And this is all based on your speaking today. So first thing up, hello Facebook user. Morning Alexia, good to see you here. So first thing, let me share this link with you guys here. So okay. So it says click this link to join me live. So pretty straightforward. So either on Facebook or YouTube, just go to the comments. You will see my comment there and click on the link. You come join me live and I'll have some part 3 questions for you. Besides that, if anyone has any questions about speaking, IELTS speaking, because we're focusing on speaking today, let me know. Hey, David. I've practiced a lot, but still I am not confident to book the exam. I need band 7 minimum. So, I mean, without doing the test, how are you going to know what scores you're capable of? So you'll get, there are practice speaking tests that you can purchase online. I have that service. You'll find other schools with that service. But what it does is it'll give you a more accurate idea, not just of what score you will get, but also why you get that score. So, let's say, for example, your score is a band 6.5. If you do the IELTS test, you just know 6.5. You don't know why it's a 6.5. But if you do a practice test, you'll know your fluency score, your vocab score, your grammar, and your pronunciation score. Fluency, vocab, grammar, pronunciation. So, it might be only your pronunciation. So, you might be getting 7 for fluency, 7 for vocab, 7 for grammar, 6 for pronunciation. And that's the reason you're getting a 6.5. So at least then with that information, you will know what you must do to get your band 7. So it's a better way of finding out what you need to do. Let me just share. Let me share another link with you here. So I have that service on my website. On one. I've just called the link one-on-one speaking tests and courses. I have writing corrections and writing courses there as well. There are other online services. You'll find other IELTS teachers have the same service. But, if you're not confident, it's probably because you feel like you're not, you're lacking in some area. And if you know where you're lacking, that will obviously make things a lot easier. Hey, Decky, good to see you here again. Hey, Nitesh, welcome back. And Bincy, always here. Hey, Bincy. I'm very good, thanks. So at the moment, I have Mamadul here. If you just turn on your camera there, Mamadul, and we'll get started. For any of you who have arrived late, let me just direct you towards this comment here. click this link to join me live. So we're doing IELTS Speaking Part 3 questions today. Click on the link, come in here and join me. I'll ask you some questions and give you some feedback. Hello, Facebook user. Hey, Stephen. Welcome to the lesson. Okay. Also, while I'm waiting for you guys to join, I have another link for you here. Every week on Zoom, I have lessons with my email subscribers, and I recognize some of you here already, but just for the newer students, this link here, free live feedback lessons on Zoom. So those are for my email subscribers. They're every week, and we do those on reading, writing, listening, speaking. Just I have a general Q&A where we discuss, just any issues that you have. So if you'd like to join those group classes, just click on the link and you can subscribe for those. Bethlehem Ubi. Hello, Mr. Lar. How are you? I'm very good. Thanks, Bethlehem. In speaking, must I stick to the questions asked, or can I digress to stretch my answers? Stick with the questions asked. So part of your score is in fluency and coherence, and it's your ability to develop your answers, your ability to expand on your answers, and it has to be about the question you've been asked. So you can't just go and talk about whatever you want, because the problem then is you might have prepared something in advance. So for example, like if you're asked to talk about, I don't know, talk about some aspect of social media, so you're asked talk about the way social media has affected how we communicate, and then you just talk about social media in general, that might be you memorized some things to say about social media and you're just saying whatever you've memorized. That does not help you to improve your score. The examiner will disregard any of the language, the good vocab, the good grammar that you would have in an answer like that, because they're afraid that you've memorized it, or they're probably aware if you have memorized it, it would be quite obvious to them. So no, you have to stick to the topic. Thank you, sir, for your lectures. You're very welcome. They've been an immense help to me. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Ken Clark, long time. How are you doing? Hi, Ritesh from Nepal. Hello to you. So Stephen, you're with me here at the moment. If you want to just turn on your camera and we'll jump into it. Okay, so Stephen looks like he's having some issues with his camera, but any of you guys can join. Hi, Khaled. Hey, Sharafat. Good to see you here again. So let me just direct you back to this one here. Click this link to join me live. Maybe you guys are feeling a bit camera shy today, and if you are, that's no problem. We'll just finish up. So I'll just wait another 1 or 2 minutes, and if we don't have anyone, we can just finish up there. That's no problem. Besides that, if you have questions, feel free to ask me questions. I'm happy to answer those while we're waiting for someone to come and join. Hey, Jaspreet. Can I take your exam soon? Okay, best of luck with that, Jaspreet. Hopefully you get everything you need on this attempt. Zengatsu. As someone said, should I stick to the question? Does that apply to all parts of the question of the test, like parts 1, 2, and 3? Absolutely, yeah. You have to discuss what you've been asked to discuss. Because like a lot of students will, it's quite common where students will just memorize answers. And if they're asked about, talk about the environment, they just have this thing they've memorized and they just go and they rattle it off. So no, you have to talk about what the question asked, or else you're doing nothing to help improve your scores. Yashoda, hi sir, what if I get a question I can't answer, like book I recently read? If I'm not a reader, I don't have anything to speak about. What should I do? Well, just talk about a book that you've read ever. Like you might have been reading a book for a child. You might have been reading a book for your studies. It could be a practice IELTS reading test that you did. Could be a Cambridge IELTS book. But just go back to the most recent book that you read. I mean, like let's say it was a year ago instead of 2 weeks ago. That's still what you should talk about. So, it's unlikely that you're able to read and write without having read a book at some point. So just talk about some book. I think what you're experiencing isn't really that the questions are too difficult. It's that you're making it too complicated for yourself. You're trying to think of perhaps a novel, that you have to talk about a novel, but any book of any description. But yeah, just go to the most recent book, or it doesn't have to be the most recent book. It could be just the one that kind of pops into your head, and you just say, well, a book I read recently. As long as you just talk about a book, you'll be fine. Sir, if I don't have any phrase or idioms in my speaking, can I get a good band? Yeah, well, phrases, you'll need phrasal verbs, and you'll need common phrases, but stay away from idioms. It's a big mistake that a lot of candidates make. They think that you need to use idioms, like one that I heard a lot was knee high to a grasshopper. Nobody says that anymore. That's something that would have been maybe common 200 years ago, but those types of old-fashioned idioms, nobody uses them. They sound very unnatural. They're not required. The band descriptor says idiomatic language, but that's things like phrasal verbs. They're not talking about old-fashioned, outdated idioms. So where we see like a lot of candidates coming in think they have to use idioms, they've probably been told that by someone who didn't understand the test, and they just use idiom after idiom after idiom. It doesn't help your score. It's not what you need to do. So stay away from idioms. But various phrasal verbs would be very important. Umidjan, have you heard about Tahassoni's book? And if it is, your opinion about it? I've never heard of it. No idea. In general, like I'm not saying anything negative about Tahassoni. Might be excellent. In general, I would stick with Cambridge books. I've had previous schools that I've worked in were using IELTS books published by other publishers. Again, there's no point in naming them, but they weren't Cambridge, and there was stuff that was inaccurate, question types that didn't follow the correct format and stuff. So just from that experience, I will only recommend Cambridge books because they're reliable. And even big publishing houses, which would be very well respected, seem to have inaccurate information. So not to say anything about this Tahassoni, it might be fantastic, I don't know. But in general, if you're asking me to recommend books, I would say just stuff by Cambridge, stuff published by Cambridge. Jaspreet, I'd watched your video with Kulwant. Yeah, Kulwant, fair play to him. About writing, it was amazing. I've learned how to write intro in a nice way. Excellent. Good job, Jaspreet. And well done again to Kulwant. Kulwant did great. Got a band 7.5 for himself in writing. Got an 8 in speaking. Overall 8.5. Brilliant. Sharfat, sir, why close your speaking lucky spin? It's too much work. Too much work. And the fact is, I'd go and I'd choose somebody. Somebody would win. People would enter their name because I think they kind of like the idea of winning, and then I'd send an email or I'd contact the person, go, okay, great, let's organize it, and never hear from them again. So it's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I just stopped doing it. I think I don't know, were people camera shy that they liked the idea of it but didn't want to do it. That's why I stopped. So at the moment I have Soemik and Stephen. If you want to turn on your camera, I can get you in here. Sengatsu, why, if you genuinely don't have experience that asked by the examiner in the case, can we talk about why I don't have that experience and talk about someone experience that you know in part 2? The questions are designed to, talk about things that you will have experienced. I remember, I think it was in one of these live streams a while back, like we were looking at part 2, and it was talk about a concert that you've been to, and the student just said, I've never been to a concert, never. So like they were thinking more, like big stage, famous band, loud music. So like just, talk about a school concert where there are just a few kids up on stage. Like, the IELTS, like Cambridge are intentionally writing IELTS questions that are not aimed to trick people out. They're used all over the world, so they're pretty generic questions that would apply to everyone. Like, talk about, a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. Talk about a book you read recently. Talk about whatever it is. It's generally just quite basic standard stuff. So I think in general, if you can't think of an idea, it's probably because you're making it too complicated on yourself, or you're stressing out. But I've never seen a question where it would be about something that someone would never have experienced. Like, it would never be like, talk about a time when you were on a boat and the boat started to sink. Like, well, very few people have had that experience. They're not going to ask something like that. It'd be something more general that you should have an idea about. A fake story could be hard for some students that experience doesn't exist. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's more difficult to invent a story than to talk about when it's something you've already experienced. So yeah, I mean, you can invent, like earlier on, the student was asking about, a book you've read recently. Just talk about a book you've read and say it was recently. So, I mean, that's technically making it up. But I wouldn't go inventing stories completely. You have enough to think about already. Okay, I have Mark with me. Let's get you in here. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
Very good. You've been on here before, right?
Yeah, we talked.
I remember you. Just quickly, can you tell me what score you're aiming for, Mark?
9. I think I told you that last time.
I thought so. How's that going for you? Have you done the test since we last spoke?
No, I haven't.
Still getting yourself ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Still trying my best.
Good man. All right. Let me ask you one or two questions here. So the topic is in relation to sports and competition.
Mm-hmm.
Why do some sports fans get so upset when their teams lose?
That's a tricky question. Let me think about it. I'm not a big fan of sports, so we can't relate to that. I guess it's probably because they attach their happiness to the games of their team sports. So if their main team lost the game, they just felt upset. So I think that's kind of common thing if you are a sports fan. But unfortunately, I don't follow sports, so I can't really say much to that.
And is there much violence at sporting events in your country?
I don't really know much about that because I rarely watch sports. But I just read some news a couple of weeks ago, and I think there is some violence when it comes to some vigorous sports like basketball, rugby, and sports like that. It's kind of normal for players to have physical contact when they play these kinds of sports. So yeah, that's what I think.
And what are the main benefits of a country hosting an international sporting event?
There are quite a few benefits actually. The first one that comes to mind is economic benefit. So if the host country basically stages an international event, then it can attract a lot of tourists from different countries to visit the host country. So this can basically boost the local economy and it can create a lot of job opportunities as well, because local people can work as tour guides as well. And I mean, tourists, they need to have a place to stay. So it's also good for hospitality industry like hotels. So yeah, quite a few benefits for sure.
Thank you. So for you, fluency, vocab, it's all good. Grammar, one very small mistake, but pronunciation would be the main area for you to work on. You're not stressing the correct words in each sentence. So you stress too many words. That would be the main issue. And then when you're stressing each word, you make the vowel way longer in the word that you're stressing. So so for example, if you're stressing the word stressing, you go stressing. So you make it stressing. You make the vowel much longer when you're trying to stress a word. So that's those two things: making the vowel sound too long and also stressing too many words in each sentence. Which, if you were aiming for a lower score, wouldn't necessarily be a big problem, but you're aiming for a band 9. So, that is something that you're going to have to address. You said if they're hosting international event, it should have been if they're hosting an international event or international events. So it needed to be plural or it needed an article. That was the only grammar mistake I noticed. So that's a lot of accuracy. And, even for band 9, one mistake like that, it's not going to stop you from getting the score. When you said that's a tricky question, is why did you say that?
Because I don't know.
Because it is a tricky question.
Yeah, I've never thought about that kind of question before. I'm not a big fan of sports.
No, nor am I, to be honest. I think like with a lot of students, they use those phrases because they think it gives them more time to think. But my advice is you're too busy saying that's a tricky question to think about the answer. So in general, I would say just wait and make it like one of those sounds like and that'll show that you're thinking. Yeah, that's it. One more little thing. You said vigorous sports. And those we wouldn't really put those words together, so it doesn't go like that.
I see. So what score do you think I can get?
Not a 9.
39. Okay. Yeah, I got 8.5 many times.
Yeah, it's pronunciation. Pronunciation is going to be the main thing for you.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you again, Mark.
Cheers.
Take care of yourself. See ya. Okay, Stephen, give me one moment. I'm just going to look at some more questions and then I'll more comments, and then I'll get you in here. Yum. Sir, how can we extend our answer? Yeah, you don't need to go overboard with it. Like, you don't need to go ridiculously long in part 3. You just need to, explain, give a direct answer. Always try to answer the question in the first sentence. That way you can stay on track more easily. And then explain your answer. You can add, talk about the outcome. You can, talk about an example, give an example, any other information that you want to develop, but start with the basics of direct answer and then explain it. And then whatever else is relevant after that. Audrey, hello to you. Where should you start from? If you're just starting, I have a page that'll help you here. Just one moment, let me find it. So this is Beginner's Guide to IELTS. Let me just type it up for you here quickly. So Audrey, if you take a look in the comments, you'll find that there. So I just share this to you here, Beginner's Guide to IELTS, and then wrong link, sorry. Let me delete that. Oh, I can't delete it, sorry. Let me try that again. That is the correct one. Okay, so sorry, please ignore the first one. I had the same thing on my clipboard. Okay, Beginner's Guide to IELTS. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Wrong again. Let me try one more. Third time lucky. I'm getting embarrassed now. Really this time. Beginner's Guide to IELTS, that link. So there are 2 incorrect links first, the third one, sorry. Oh dear. Yum, you're very welcome. Sharafat, yeah, click on the link, come and join me. Mohammed, hello teacher, I want to prepare IELTS preparation. My desired band is 5.5. If I got above is perfect. How long would it take me to get the score? It depends on your ability. Like, just being able to communicate throughout the test, that's pretty much a band 5.5. You can make lots and lots of vocab and grammar mistakes. So if you can communicate in English, you're probably ready to get that score. Hello, Sway. So I tried many times to win the spin, but it's my humble request. Please give me a chance. Come and join me here. We're doing speaking right now, Sharafat. Kent, in the case that Sengatsu brought up there, is it okay if we talk about someone else's experience? Well, not if it asked you to talk about your experience. No, it wouldn't. You still have to answer the question that you're asked. Hello, Solwyn. Hello, Alfie. There's Kulwant. Hi, Lar. Hope you're fine. Doing good. Thanks. Watching your every video, even after getting the score. This because I think every video is so informative. I can't ignore it. Good to see you here again anyway. Okay, let's get Chris in here. Chris. Hi there, Chris. How are you doing?
Oh, Stefan.
Oh. How did that happen? Hi, Stephen.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I thought I had Chris in there earlier. Where are you from, Stephen?
I'm from Rangoon, Myanmar. Yeah.
Myanmar. What score are you looking for?
Just 7 or 7.5 in IELTS speaking.
Okay. So we're looking at part 3 today, Stephen.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions about nature. What is the main environmental problem in your country?
In my country, global warming affects my country very much these days because partly due to congestion, global emissions, and carbon footprints, which are people really love to make, from their cars and factories, and also from banning the fossil fuels like uh, using diesel engines, so on.
Are people in your country concerned about the environment?
No, not really. They really are cutting down trees, and they make a lot of pollutions, such as carbon emissions are very high these days because they are using our individual private cars a lot, especially noticed in our city, Yangon. Uh, although the high price of the oil are happening right now, more and more people are using private cars.
And
I
what do you
think they,
think?
yeah.
What do you think people should do to better protect the environment?
Firstly, they need to educate themselves for the environmental problems, and they need to tackle this issue using some kind of measures like using public transport system effectively, and also using environmentally friendly methods like using solar panel and wind towers for electricity generation. I think these are very effective methods for reducing carbon footprint.
Thank you. Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I have to kind of guess what you're thinking, but I feel like you're giving a lot of importance to vocabulary, that you're really trying to show as much vocabulary as you can. Am I right to guess that?
Yeah,
So vocabulary is definitely important, but it's only, it's a quarter of what you're being tested on. So
yeah,
I feel,
25%.
yeah. So I feel what's happening is you're putting so much of your focus on trying to use uncommon vocab that
Oh, I see.
it's affecting your fluency,
Okay.
and you're not getting a steady flow. So your pronunciation is more like starting and stopping instead of a more natural flow.
Oh,
So I think what you would want to do is focus more on your answer and focus less on the vocabulary you use for your answer.
okay.
And as well, I know like it's an unnatural environment for speaking, but it's not a presentation. So you don't have to have very high level answers about your knowledge about the environment or your knowledge about the situation in your country. You could just say global warming. They're always talking about it on the news. The country's getting hotter. I can tell even for myself, compared to when I was younger, it's definitely much hotter now. That type of thing. So it doesn't have to be very formal presentation style answer. You can just talk the way you normally would. So those would be the two things that I'd say for you. You can use less common or more common vocabulary. Don't worry about vocab so much, and try to just give a more natural answer. You don't need to explain why there is global warming or where it comes from or how it happens. Just talk more generally about your experience, and that would be fine.
Thank you. Thank you,
No
teacher.
problem. Do you have any questions for me, or do you want to say anything before we finish up?
Yeah, it's okay, teacher. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Stephen. Nice
Thanks.
talking to you.
Thanks.
Take care of
Thanks.
yourself.
Okay.
Okay, that was nice. Just go through a few more comments. Huma, I need 7778. That's probably an 8 in listening for going to Canada. I see this a lot. Mohammed, hello, sir. How are you? Doing good, Mohammed. Thanks for asking. Steady, hello to you. Facebook can't see your comments. Try going to the Facebook page instead of the Facebook group. That might be an issue. Which link? The one right up at the top. It's probably one of the first comments there. So you'll see it up at the top as well. And then, thank you. I think you're sharing a link with someone else. Good. Yep. Thanks, Javed. He is good. Yeah, I agree. Hello. Hey, Maha. Nice to see you back here. Thank you, Javed. Much appreciated. Okay, so I have Sohail. I'm definitely saying your name wrong. Let's get you in here. You can tell me how to say it.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good, thanks. How do you pronounce your name?
It's Sohail Mahmoud Ripon. Sohail.
Sohail.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Very good. What score do you need?
I need 6, but I aim for 7. I don't know. It's possible because I am very nervous when it comes to English speaking.
Me too.
Yeah.
I get you. So you need 6, but would like 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you aim for higher, maybe you'll achieve 6. I don't know.
Okay. So let me ask you some questions here. So it's speaking part 3. Sorry, I'm just trying to find questions here. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions about movies.
Yeah.
Is the cinema a popular activity? Excuse me. Is going to the cinema a popular activity in your country?
Yes, when it comes to movies and cinema, it is very popular in our country because in the leisure time, people do not have to do a lot of things in our country because Dhaka is one of the populated country in the world. So if you want to go outside, there will be always like traffic jam and stuff. But when it comes to movie, and nowadays we all know that movies are available in OTT platform. We can watch whole lots of movies in OTT platforms. So whenever people got chance, they watch movies and also like web series and stuff. So it is very popular nowadays, and it is becoming more popular because of pandemic, because people are staying at their home and they are subscribed to so many or like so many channels like Netflix, like Disney Plus, these kinds of things. So yeah.
In your opinion, will this trend continue into the future?
I believe, yeah, this trend will continue in the future. But I don't know that about the movie theater. When it comes to movie theater in our country, for the last couple of years, has been shutting down, and it's lots of has have been shutting down as well. So I believe because OTT platform becomes available in our country, so people will be, and it is also more cheaper than the cinema theater, so people will prefer more in OTT platform rather than in cinema, and it will continue with trends for the for more for next 5 or 10 years, I guess.
Thank you. Okay, Sohail. So just 2 main points. One is you need to stay on topic.
Yeah.
So the first question was about cinemas, and then you started by talking about cinemas, but then you just started talking more generally. You were talking about other platforms, about streaming movies and stuff like that. So it wasn't directly related to the question. If you had said that, cinemas aren't that popular because more people are staying at home, that would have been fine. But you were just talking more generally. The other thing then is with your pronunciation, it's a combination of you don't stress, you don't use correct sentence stress. So you give equal stress to every word. So like when I would say you give equal stress to every word, the way I stress the word equal and word, you give equal stress to every word. So that's in English pronunciation, we stress, it's about 2 words in every clause. But what you'll do then is you'll go, we give equal stress to every word. So you don't have sentence stress, it's every word along. You stress each word.
Monotonous. Yeah.
No, it's not about the intonation. It's about the number of words you stress in each sentence.
Okay.
So you stress nearly every word. So that combined with you speak very quickly makes it a little bit difficult to follow you at times. And it's normally towards the end of the sentence. So it's like at the start of the sentence, it feels like you're still thinking about what to say. So you're speaking a bit slower. I can understand you, no problem. And then you know how to finish the sentence and you just race to the end. And it gets tricky. So slowing down, that's not going to be too difficult. That just requires you to be more careful. And when you notice that you're speaking quickly, you just need to, stop yourself. But then in relation to the sentence stress, that will take work. So that's something that you should work on of all the areas. Your fluency, your vocab is fine for band 6. You're making some grammar mistakes, but that aspect of pronunciation where it's difficult to understand, that's going to be your main issue. So that's what you need to work on most.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions about that, or do you want to say anything else before we finish up?
Yeah, my question is like whenever I talk to myself, like like when I record myself in a phone or something like that, then that time I feel very confident. But when it comes to someone else, so that time I'm really like nervous. I don't know, like fumbling in my head. I'm running out of ideas, something like that. So how can I improve this? Should I like?
Well, putting yourself in front of a live stream like this, that's going to help, because this is going to make you more nervous than speaking to one person off camera. So this is definitely a benefit. But is it people in general, or is it in the exam scenario, like in an exam situation where you get nervous?
When it comes to English, spoken English, not in our native language, but when it comes to English, like when I record myself, I can fluently speak, but not like band 7 or 6.5, I don't know. But when it comes to like this kinds of interview, or someone is asking me some questions, then I am running out of ideas and I'm fumbling. I'm pretty nervous, and because of those nervousness, I'm fumbling.
Yeah, I understand completely. It's natural. But I mean, it sounds like you just need more opportunities to speak with someone in English. It doesn't necessarily have to be an English teacher or like an IELTS expert. I think just get a speaking partner to give yourself more practice with that. You'll find platforms online. Just go to any English platform, say like, does anyone want to practice speaking English? You'll find someone easily. But that might be enough, just to have enough practice with that side of things. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then come back here next time I have a speaking test. It'd be great to have you on again.
Oh, sure. Thank you very much.
Take care of yourself. Nice talking to you.
Take care.
Nice to hear. Okay, so I probably have time for one more. There are a few people here. If you want to turn on your camera, I'll just take the first person to get their camera on. Sharafat, good man. Give me one moment. I'll go through the questions, the comments I have here. How can we reformulate the examiner's question? You don't even need to. So if the examiner says, like, how popular are cinemas in your country, you can just go, oh, they're very popular. So you can just answer the question. You don't have to paraphrase like, cinemas in my country are very popular. You can just answer the question. You can use a pronoun. So that's probably the easiest way. Great, good to see you here, Shiny. I do offer IELTS classes. I can share with you here. I have a link. So here, you'll find the link here, Shiny. One-on-one corrections and IELTS courses. You see them there. Hey, Dinah. Okay, Sharafat, let's get you in here. Hello, sir. How are you doing? You're microphone is on mute there at the moment. You'll need to unmute that for me.
Hello, sir. Thank you for
Good to see you
joining.
here.
Thank you. Yes, nice to meet you, sir. I'm a little bit nervous.
That's natural enough. I understand. What score do you need in speaking, Sharafat?
Actually, my requirement is 6.5 overall and no less than 6 actually. If I get more than 6, then it will be good for me.
Okay, good. So, just aim for the score you need first. I think I've had this experience a lot where, students need a 6 and they want a 7, but then as soon as they get a 6 in the IELTS test, they don't want a 7 anymore. They don't care. They're like, I got my scores, that's enough. I don't care anymore. So normally people want a higher score before they do the test and they don't care after they do the test. Has been my experience.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Sharafat, let me ask you some questions here. I'm going to ask you some questions about health.
Okay, sir.
Do elderly people in your country do much exercise?
I think our people of our country are much lazy and sedentary. People are living and they don't want to exercise because they think it's a waste of time. But on the other hand, people do a lot of work, and so that they can feel fit for this.
And do many people go to the doctor when they have a small illness?
Not really. They go to pharmacy and take medicine without prescription. So that many people get several serious issue for the wrong medicine in our country, and people are not health conscious about it. If they got a little bit cold, they don't go to the doctor and appoint and don't take any appointment from doctor. They just go to the pharmacy and took some general medicine like paracetamol and so on.
And do you think that healthcare in your country is too expensive?
Actually, if you talk about government treatment, it's all free and people easily get, but they have to take cereal. On the other hand, if you take uh, private treatment, it's really expensive, like 700 or 600. Poor, it is very expensive for poor people actually, not the rich. I think.
And in general, do people have a lot of respect for doctors in your country?
Yes, professional like doctor is really respectful, and people give respect to them because it's a service which people get from get over from the illness, serious issues, and people think that doctor like a second god for them because many people get rid from many serious issues like cancer and so on.
Thank you. I think for band 6, I think you're fairly online. I think you're pretty much ready. Obviously, a full test might show me more issues that you have, but based on what you've had your performance here today, I mean, a band 6 shouldn't be a big problem for you. So I'd say you're in a good position for that. How are you
Thank
set
you.
for the other parts of the test, for your listening and your writing, your reading?
I have a reading problem. I have sent email one time. You didn't respond me. Think I said
Really?
you there.
Try
Yes,
again.
sir.
I respond to all my emails, so send me again. Unless it
Okay,
was the wrong
sir.
email address.
Sharafat Ali 76199 is my email address. I said there that I have reading problem and writing problem, and I have watched your ideas and videos several times. Now I am able to understand the thing how you do, and now I can generate any idea from a
Good.
question of writing.
And you need 6 in those as well. Band 6 in those areas as well.
Actually, I get 4.5 in reading part, writing part 2, and part 1 I get 2. I think it's overall 6.5.
You could probably work on that reading a bit though. For speaking, speaking doesn't seem to be a big issue for you. So I would put more effort into reading right now, if that's the problem.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to know one
Send me
thing.
another email though. I'll get onto you. Send me another email. I'll
Okay, sir.
generally
one
I'm
thing, sir.
surprised that I didn't reply, because I'm pretty particular about that type of thing. Send me another email. I'll get onto you.
Okay, sir. One
Nice talking
thing
to you,
more.
Sharafat.
Sir, I think one question, sir. Sir,
Go ahead.
there's a rumor that IELTS exam is changing now, and they take one. I mean, if I get low score in one module, then I can retake that one module again. Is it
No,
true?
no, but it depends on who's accepting your certificate. So some whatever institutes, they'll say, you can give us 2 certificates, and if you get the score that you need on, you can combine the 2 certificates. But that's nothing to do with the IELTS test. That's just related to the people who accept your certificate. So if whoever's taking your certificate, if they say it's okay, it's okay. It's got nothing to do with IELTS. But no, you can't just retake one section. If you're doing the test, it's reading, writing, listening, speaking. You need to do the full thing. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nice talking to you, Sharafat. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. Okay, so that's pretty much all we're going to have time for today. Let's just have a quick look at any comments left. Shiny, you're very welcome. Shah, hello to you. Hello, Akhil. Finally, you get a chance to join your live stream, and we're just finishing up. So sorry, seems like you got right in at the end, but good to see you here regardless. Okay, so that's it for today. Like I said, I have live feedback lesson. I have one tomorrow. So if you haven't already subscribed for that, do sign up, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll have another live stream next week. I'm not sure what the topic of next week. It won't be speaking. It will be on some other part of the test. Okay, so that's it for today. Nitesh, just finishing up. Nitesh, thank you. Alexia, thank you. Raki, Alfie, you're very welcome. It's not. This is just click on the link and join me. No raffle. You'll see next time. I'll post a link at the start. Good. Thanks, Fasil. Yep. So come on in. Did you come in and then you didn't turn on your camera? Maybe that was the issue. Jasprit, you're very welcome. Sonali, you're welcome. Reading next time. When I do a Q&A. I'll have a Q&A coming up. If not next week, I'll tell you exactly now. What's happening next week. Next week is Q&A. So you're welcome to ask any questions you have on that there. Okay, again, very welcome. Okay, take care, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow in the live feedback lesson if you're attending that. If not, talk to you next week. Best of luck to any of you guys who have IELTS tests coming up. If you have any friends or family members or colleagues or anything doing the IELTS test, make sure to send them my way. Okay, so take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the week. Bye-bye.